Clippity clap.
We're
Guess who's
back. Call your cardiologist. You're about to intake a lot of sodium.
That blood pressure's gonna be through the roof.
Yo, welcome back. I'm sorry we took another week off. I'm sorry, not sorry. You know, sometimes life finds a way.
It really do.
And sometimes life gets in the way.
Yeah, as our boy Jeff Goldblum once said. Life finds a way.
I thought the doctor said that. I haven't seen Jurassic Park in a while.
No, that was old Jeffy B.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Love Jeff B.
We also get the we were so preoccupied whether we could, we didn't stop to think if we should.
Yeah.
That whole line.
That's a famous line.
Pretty good.
I saw an interview recently with Samuel L. Jackson. He was talking about working on Jurassic Park, and he said like one of his memories was that Steven Spielberg wouldn't let him smoke real cigarettes on the set, so he made Samuel L. Jackson like chain smoke these like disgusting herbal clove cigarettes, which I've smoked before on set, and I will never do it again.
Gross.
Oh, they're disgusting, Robert. I would rather smoke regular cigarettes, which are also not my favorite.
Those are also disgusting.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in high school, I was at the beach with some friends, and one of them, or at least a couple of them, smoked. And he like had a cigarette, and he's like, "Hold this real quick," and like he went to go like do something. So I was holding it, and I was like, "Let me see what all the fuss is all about." And it was some, I don't know what brand, but it was some menthol cigarette. Took a little puff, and like it just instantly felt like ice cold hands were just like wringing my lungs. I was like, "This is horrendous. What is wrong with you?"
Like
people?
you're smoking Listerine. Yeah,
and I was like, "This is so not enjoyable. Like I don't understand. Like how do you for the first time be like, yeah, I could get behind this."
It's
like
just,
no,
you
dude.
do it a little bit, and then your body's like, yes, more of this, please, as often as possible.
I'm glad my body was like, nah,
Yeah.
fam, ain't for me.
I've smoked cigarettes on and off over the last couple years. I'm off now, and I'm happy about that. It's been a few years since I've smoked, but anytime I get off cigarettes and I smell someone else smoking, I'm like, how did I ever do this? This is not for me.
It definitely sticks to like everything.
Yeah.
And people that do smoke, like their sense of smell gets kind of fucked, and so like they don't notice it.
It sucks. It sucks. I feel bad for people who like are smoking all the time. They're like, love to quit, can't. And it's like I get it. It sucks, but it's what it is. I don't know. I feel like there's so much like publicity based around like anti-smoking and all these anti-smoking campaigns. I feel like in the next couple generations, a lot of people are going to be smoking traditional tobacco cigarettes. I don't know if vaping's any better or any worse. I mean, it might be worse, especially with all of like the bootleg products. You don't really know what you're smoking.
Yeah, I think that's sort of the problem. I think like the good like made vape liquid, from my understanding, isn't too bad. But like the real problem is when you start getting like just these random backroom people that are just like making super cheap like vape liquid. They're using just like garbage like stuff, like ingredients and whatnot. And so they start using really unhealthy like liquids.
Yep.
Or like the whatever the fuck, like the glycerin or whatever they use.
Yeah.
So it's like you start getting really gross shit all wrapped up in that, and then you don't have any actual regulation on how it's made. And it's the same thing with any drug, basically.
There was a big bust in Long Island here a couple years ago. I remember in like 2016, 2017, THC cartridges were blowing up in New York. Like everybody was smoking them, and they were just like odorless, or they would smell like fucking pineapple or whatever it was supposed to be, and it had THC, and you're like, oh, this is great. And then not a few months later, there was this big bust in Long Island. It was a mom and her sons, or her sons and the son's friends, and they were producing the liquid in a garage, and the Fed seized like an on the street value of $3 million worth of liquid
I
out of
remember
their
hearing about
garage.
that.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
And that made me feel really gross.
Yeah, so they just found, yeah.
I don't mess with those. They honestly hurt my throat. It's no good for me.
They're not fun.
No.
But yeah, I remember hearing about that. I was trying to buy cartridges off of a friend, or I think like one of my coworkers was trying to look for one. And like I remember hearing about that, and like it became really hard to find them like out of nowhere. And it's like I really hope that those weren't what we were getting. Like I hope it
But
was just like people
mm,
were scared and
it's
not the other way around.
it's kind of terrifying. Like you could go online and order like 500 like stickers that have like the cool holographic, codes, and they've got the California like leaf logo on them and all the stuff, and it all looks so legit. But you could just buy it,
Right.
by the thousands. So it's kind of scary.
Crazy shit.
No thanks.
Well, thank you. I
Mm-mm.
don't want popcorn lung.
Nope. Oh Jesus.
That shit's scary.
Speaking of scary shit, look at this transition. How about that manifesto?
Okay, so on Saturdays, my coworkers and I we rotate on call schedules. And so there's like I think 7 of us on our team, so it's once every 7 weeks essentially. And so this past Saturday was my on-call shift. And so we just do 8 to 5, but it's just emails. So it's not all that involved. So I hop in just to kind of check on what emails came in, and I got the most, like, it's long. I'm probably not gonna be able to get through it all. But I got this like insane, like fucking just ramblings of an absolute maniac. That looks like some crazy like anti-Google manifesto. It's really interesting.
Anti-Google.
Yeah.
This is so interesting because I had a coworker a few weeks ago. I don't. We were talking COVID nonsense, and she was saying that her dad was really upset with her that she and her mom got the vaccine, and they had to get it for work.
Mhm.
But their dad was super upset with them, and I think did I mention this on the podcast? She claimed that Bill Gates had sterilized an entire community in South Africa by offering them a vaccine or something like that, and I was like, man, and I
think
did
so.
some very surface research on it that net no results. But hey, maybe that's because I searched it on Google. But I was
They
like,
scrubbed that shit
man, she
clean.
just threw that conspiracy right at me. There were some
That's
pretty
incredible.
intense claims, yeah. But
It's I feel like there's like the fun conspiracy theories where it's like, or maybe not fun, but you got like, oh, like I feel like the government was behind JFK's assassination. That's
mhm.
like, yeah, I feel like that's probably likely. That's probably less of a conspiracy and more of like, I feel like most people agree with that. And then you have like that shit, or like the shit that's in this manifesto. I'd like to read some of it. It's long, so I'm probably not going to get through all of it.
It's long. How long are we
It's
talking?
long. We're talking. I don't know. I'm gonna toss it in a Word doc. I'm gonna see how many words it tells me. Google Docs, do your thing.
Oh man.
How many words? How many words this is? This is fucking. Oh my god! How many pages is it? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages long
Oof.
on Google Doc, and it gets into it. So it starts out, and it also came with pictures and attachments that I did not click on.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying.
It's just that guy's dick.
It was like the thumbnails were like pictures of like some dude's like bald spot on the top of his head. So like
Lovely.
I guess part of this involved this guy and his balding, but I guess he wanted to blame Google for it instead of his genetics and male pattern baldness.
Yeah.
So this starts out saying around March 20th. So this is recent. Around March 20th, 2023, he was once again paraplegic due to Google's brainwaves. And then in parentheses, blood in the left knee and calcification. It's a terrible pain. Please help me. See attached photos. I will not. Thank you. Google's method of searching the brain about mind control and evoked brainwaves. Google has disrupted society and caused many incidents, accidents, and terrorism. Many people have lost their lives. This time I will write about, quote, mind control and, quote, searching in the brain. And then in parentheses, Google is forcing all of humanity. An Android phone is an electroencephalograph, an EEG. It, quote, forcibly monitors and acquires data 24 hours a day about what people are thinking in their brains. It accumulates brain monitoring data in your Google account. All human data is linked and accounts can't be deleted. Google AI links with your Google account information in full real time. Parentheses, account information is AI bait. Google has a quote system that forcibly intervenes in the human brain using brainwaves and portable radio waves and automatic control by AI. And then in parentheses, important. Brain hacking is done with brainwaves. For mind control, we mainly use a technique called auditory effects. The auditory effect is a combination of the two functions of floating images in the back of the brain and polyphonic ringing of high speed sounds, like tinnitus and noise like words in the brain. This auditory effect uh, perform mind control. Auditory effects can cause nightmares and sleep problems. As the video and audio streams continuously for 24 hours, it may interfere with daily work and cause mental illness.
Brother, I just
Newsflash, I've already got that.
Yeah.
I don't need Google's help with that.
So I'm not gonna lie, I'm having trouble following right now. There's a lot going on.
It's just the unhinged lunacy and ramblings of a very disturbed individual, I'm assuming. But apparently Google reads your brainwaves through your Android phone, which is an EEG, and they perform mind control and all sorts of other brain scans, like read your brainwaves.
Oh, okay, fine. Like, read my brainwaves. All you're gonna see is that this guy's addicted to vanilla Oreo thins. Like,
Oreo thins are, Google needs to know that those are not allowed. Those should be gone forever. What else we got in here? Google LLC / Alphabet Inc., which is Google's parent company, uses brainwave technology to human body is monitoring and mind controlling. Google is control humanity. It is the cause of many social problems happening in the world today. I'm a victim of assault by Google. Allegedly. Google is charged and convicted of injury. Tokyo District Public Prosecutor's Office, Tachikawa Branch, case management number, yada, yada, yada. The Criminal Organized Crime Division. That sounds redundant. The reason for the assault was because I knew Google's confidential about Google AI and Android OS. Android phones are harmful to the human body, so I think that production should be discontinued. And Chromebook, Wear OS by Google Pixel Watch.
Shut the factories down.
Etc.
Watch the Korean economy collapse.
This seems to be like some pro Apple propaganda, if anything.
Interesting. Yeah, he hasn't made one mention of Apple, and if you're gonna come out of this saying no, Apple's doing good stuff, I don't believe you.
Yeah, they're saying Google AI, Android OS, Chromebook, Wear OS, by Google Pixel Watch, Fitbit, etc. It's all Google products. So it's apparently Google and Bill Gates. Google possesses human brainwave data and conducts industrial espionage by referencing memories in the brain through EEG. Android is an EEG measuring device constantly monitoring and capturing brainwave data. The brainwave data is sent to Google servers and is linked to all services such as Google accounts, Google searches, YouTube, ads, etc. The EEG data is managed by AI, and the brain is eavesdropped and monitored in real time. They're intercepting your brainwaves and they're reading your mind, dude.
Well, yeah. I mean, everyone's sharing your data, and this, like, it's got me thinking about the fucking TikTok hearings this past week. Did you watch any of those?
Not the hearings directly, but
are you telling me if I am in my home and I have TikTok downloaded on my phone and I am on the Wi-Fi, TikTok has access to my Wi-Fi? And this poor fucking guy sitting there like, I don't understand the question. Like, yes, if you're using Wi-Fi to get online data, then yeah, TikTok would be on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, there's a lot of, like, you know, accusations and stuff going around. Like, again, when it comes, you know, like Occam's razor, typically the most likely reason is, you know, the actual reason.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would just like to assume that, it's standard lobbying, that happens. Um, but Congress is run by a bunch of fucking boomers and they don't understand how technology works at all. It's like I feel like they shouldn't be the ones like, trying to do all this. I would have liked to have seen them,
I just
obviously this is a pipe dream, but they need to do like, independent investigating before they
yeah.
like come to their conclusion. But yeah, all of this like, well, there's kids as young as 13 on your app. How do you stop them? Like, well, by age gating, and that's what literally every other person, company, app, website on the planet does. And if we find that they bypass that, we ban them. And he goes, so you're saying that 13-year-old kids could get on your app on this TikTok? It's like, yeah, but then if they get found, we ban them. Oh, okay. Oh, no more. No, I yield back. And it's like, what are you trying to get at here?
I
Like, yes, there's an age gate, just like, if you go to a liquor store, like www.liquor.com. Well, watch the spelling.
Are you
But
are you over 21? Yes.
exactly.
Okay.
All right, cool. So like if you're on TikTok and it says, are you at least however old? And you're like, yes. And then you post videos and then they find out that you're not actually that old, they ban you.
Yeah, it's
That's just the only thing that can be done.
yeah, like it's not TikTok's job to parent your fucking children. Like pay attention to
Right.
what your kids are doing.
Right. And like the only way to ensure somebody is of age using your app is by collecting more data or implementing other things, the exact things you don't want them to have access to. Like if you need to do like a whole age verification thing, if you have to submit like actual information, you're giving the company more data to have to verify who you are.
And-
So it's like you're mad that they're using it like an age gate like everybody else. But now you got kids on the platform because kids lie. Shocker.
Mm.
And it's just like so far from everything that I saw in those hearings, like TikTok isn't doing anything any different than all of the other companies that are in the US. And it just seems to be like the US doesn't want Asian people having access to our data. And
that
they want
dude,
us to be comfortable with only them having with only, the US government having our data.
that's exactly what it sounded like. And then the guy said
Yeah.
all the data would be compiled on servers on American soil and monitored by
Yeah.
Americans. And everyone was like, no, China's
But
got
Xi
the data. And they're
Jinping-
like, no.
yeah, it's like, oh god.
I kind of look. I don't know, but I kind of believe the CEO. I have no reason to, but everything he was saying made sense. And he was like, "Look, we're taking all these steps to make sure that your data is safe and it's stored on American soil, and we have a great platform here, and 150 million Americans have it,
Yeah.
or they've got that many users." Like, I don't
And
know.
then
I'd be kind of bummed if they banned TikTok in the States, especially over this. Like, every app shares your data, right?
Yeah, every single thing that is
Amazon,
connected to the
Google,
internet.
Facebook, Instagram's
Everybody.
owned by fucking Facebook. YouTube's owned by Google. Like, that's where all these fucking targeted ads come from.
Also, the Washington Post put out an article. What was this? Last year, Facebook paid a GOP firm to basically slander TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
So going back at least a year, Facebook has been paying the GOP to like run a smear campaign against TikTok.
Yeah, so they're
So
getting
you
lobbied
have-
against hard right now.
Yeah, so it's apparently well known that Facebook and old Zuckerbot and all of them are actively lobbying against TikTok because it's bad for business, obviously. But like the fact that they are going to get rid of TikTok but keep like Instagram Reels and stories and all that bullshit,
That's pretty ridiculous.
yeah, it's pretty insane. So
Yeah.
I think it's a lot to do with lobbying and good old money in our politics that are fucking everything up.
Yep, can't get enough of that.
Can't get enough.
The point I was trying to make here is that, yeah, they are, like every other app is kind of reading our brainwaves because they're getting our information and we're searching for what we want to say. We're telling the internet what our brainwaves are, and
Yeah.
every app is compiling that and sharing it.
So apparently they were also asking during that hearing, they're like asking them, they're like, is it true that y'all use the camera and the phone to track our eyes, so when we see something when our pupils dilate, then it's like all going like on and on like this, like
Yep.
they're mapping like how your eyes will your pupils will dilate when you see something you like, and the algorithm takes that into account. And the guy was like, well, like we do like look at the eyes, but that's for like filter tracking. It's like if you're using like a fucking filter that turns you into a Shrek, in order for like the filter to map to your face properly, it tracks the movement of
Yep.
your eyes.
Yep.
Like that. And he goes, I mean, like it does that. And they're like, oh, it's okay. So you're saying you do see our eyes through the camera when we're using old TikTok? And he's like, well, I mean, technically, yeah, but it's not for that purpose. So they're just like, I reclaim my time. I yield back.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what is it that you want? What part of the answer do you want?
Yeah.
It's like having to explain to my mom when she downloads an app on her phone, and like say it's like a photo editor app, and you download that, and as soon as you launch it, it's like, this app needs access to your storage, like your pictures and whatnot. And she's like, why does it need to do that? And it's like, well, you're editing pictures, so it has to be able to pull pictures from your phone. Like it needs to be able to access your storage. Or like it'll be like a caller ID blocker or whatever, like a spam filter for phone calls. And it's like, oh, this needs to have access to your phone. She goes, why does it need access to my phone? It's like, well, because it's managing the phone calls that come in. It's like, it's like it needs these permissions
Do you want
to
this
work.
to work? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Like what is
At
it
least
that you
it's
want?
asking you, you know?
Yeah. And then it's like, we're like Face ID. Like if you want to unlock or sign into your TikTok using Face ID, if that's a thing, I don't know. I don't have an iPhone. But if you use Face ID, like, yeah, the app's going to need access to the front camera. Like, yes, it needs to know what your face looks like in order for you to unlock it using your face.
It was like when I was setting up a new phone with my grandma, and like right at the start of the iPhone thing, it gives you like terms and conditions, and it's like accept, and she's like, well, I don't know. I was like, you have to accept, or this is just a paperweight. Like this is like a rhetorical question right now. You accept, or you drive back to the Verizon store and you give them the phone back.
Yeah, it's either accept or you don't have a phone.
They're being polite right now.
Yeah,
it's gonna be fine.
It's
don't
more
worry.
of like acknowledge. It's not even accept, just acknowledge.
Yeah. Give a little nod to your front-facing camera. So I love this too, because the fucking senators, who all have like the thickest Tennessee accent too.
Yeah.
The whole conspiracy with that is like TikTok is tracking the dilations of your pupils to show that there's dopamine being pumped into your system, so they know what you like. But in actuality, they know what you like because you fucking liked it.
Yeah, like if you're spending time on a video watching it and then you like it, it's going to give you more of that.
Yeah. What was the video tagged with? Oh, you liked it? Cool. We'll show you more of this. Like, I get a lot of fishing videos. That's because I watched them.
If you watch a video with Overwatch in it,
yeah, I didn't
you're
just
gonna get more
swipe
Overwatch.
by a video of fish and my eyes lit up. Like I saw the hottest woman on the planet.
Yeah.
AKA Jumpy Mustard. They're like, oh, this guy fucking loves fish. The AI's like, yes, Thriller loves fish. More fish. Detecting the brainwaves.
Mr. Chew, why does TikTok keep sending me videos of twinks and rollerblades? Like, I mean, are you interacting with this media? Absolutely not. Well, the algorithm's designed to show you more of the stuff that you interact with. No more questions. I yield back. It's like, well, it sounds like somebody likes to watch twinks rollerblading. I don't know what to tell you, dude. It's just a bunch of, the meme of like Grandpa Simpson, like angry man yells at Cloud.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally what those hearings were. It's just a bunch of old people that don't understand internet try and yell at a tech CEO about their very complicated algorithm and app.
It's been fun to watch. It's been fun. I feel bad for that CEO. And if TikTok gets banned, I'm gonna be upset because my fucking Star Wars video got 20 million views. That's the most views I've ever had on any video.
Got 20 million views?
Wait, did I say 20 million? I meant 20 billion views.
20 billion?
No, my bad. 21,000. 21,000. Yeah.
That's a lot of views, man.
It's cool.
Shout out to old Katie
Sackhoff, aka Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan.
She was so nice.
I'm also behind on Mando, and I know you've been watching it without me.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I've been like working the last 2 Wednesdays, and like I got like a minimum 1 hour commute into the city. It's just like that perfect Mando time.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Been good. The last episode was weird, but then there's that flashback with Ahmed Best, the guy who played Jar Jar Binks. and that made the whole episode worth it. The whole episode's so weird, and I don't know. I don't want to spoil it, but it's like, we got to go do this. And I'm like, I don't understand. There's no urgency. Like, it's very urgent, but like they take their sweet time. And it's just, I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah.
It was just a weird way to elongate the episode. Like, they definitely wrote the episode. They're like, cool, this is going to be 12 minutes of screen time. And they're like, okay, how many minutes do we need? And they're like, a minimum of 30. And they were like, fuck. Okay. Let's take our time. How about a flashback with the guy who played Jar Jar Binks? And they were like, Jon Favreau, you've done it again.
Dude.
But that was
I really liked, because I saw that, like, oddly enough on TikTok, where it was talking about, like, that dude, apparently the guy, when he played Jar Jar, like, he got
the most hated
like,
character in Star Wars.
And like, so everyone fucking hated Jar Jar, and like everyone like went after him and like made him feel like shit, and like he was like suicidal over it. Like, it was really, really bad.
Yeah, he's been open about that, which is it's really fucking sad.
Like, all he did was take a role for a silly little character in Star Wars, and everyone was like just all over him, sending him death threats and shit.
Well, that's oh my god, that's too fucking far. Like, you could shit on Jar Jar, but also like, I don't know. I'm gonna say this: the guy did what George Lucas wanted him to do.
Yeah, like, that was like, he played the character. Like, it's not like,
and Star Wars is a kid's movie. Like, when I was 8 years old, I thought Jar Jar was funny as fuck. I'm gonna be completely honest. I was Team Jar Jar at 8 years old. I liked Qui-Gon Jinn better, but like, and Darth Maul, but I was cool with Jar Jar. I don't know. Like, he did what George wanted him to do, and to send him like death threat. Like, what? I'm sorry. Are you a Gungan enthusiast? Like, what? Relax, dude. It's a kids movie.
I don't understand, like, just the amount of people, like, the amount of actors and actresses that get like direct personal hate over like roles. That shit will never like blow my mind. Like, how people are.
Well, I think back in the day, especially if you were sending people mail or emails, like, more than likely the cops weren't going to take it seriously, or there weren't going to be any repercussions for it. Whereas now, if you threaten someone's life and you leave a digital footprint, the cops are going to come knocking. And rightfully so. I watched a video on Reddit a couple nights ago where this guy threatened, I think he threatened the chief of police, or he was threatening someone online, I think under like a sock puppet account or an alias, and they tracked his IP address and arrested him at his mom's house. And of course, he's like his elderly mother. They call him downstairs. He's just this like ragged, dirty, greasy fucking dude with like the long, like greasy black hair and this unkempt beard and like a dirty t-shirt. And he comes downstairs. He's like, oh, all right. And they arrest, like, of course, he was just like some neckbeard literally at his mom's house, like telling people he was going to kill them. And like,
ridiculous.
Yeah, you can't be doing that. But anyway, Ahmed Best plays Jar Jar, was actually an extra in Revenge of the Sith. He plays a Jedi named Kelleran Beck. And there's a scene where like Anakin's walking through the hallways and he actually like gives him a little nod. And they actually brought Kelleran Beck back to do some badass Jedi shit in a flashback. And it was like
so
his redemption.
So it's like an established character already?
Yeah.
Well, that's fucking cool.
Yeah. And when did that movie come out? 2005?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a long time, but he got to like actually bring some life to that role. It's
yeah, he got like a proper, like, he got a close up. He got like a proper like scene.
Dude, watch the episode. Well, it was the best part of the episode. The rest of it made no sense to me, but you'll see.
That sounds about right.
You gotta catch up so we can talk about it next week. Also, episode 3 is so weird. It starts off with Mando and Bo-Katan for the first like 5 minutes, and then there's 50 minutes of a completely different character somewhere else in the galaxy, and then the last 5 minutes is Mando and Bo-Katan. And I have no idea how any of that's gonna come into play, but we'll see. You'll see. You gotta watch it.
Yeah,
Mandalorian on
I gotta catch up.
Disney Plus, official sponsor.
Official sponsor us, Disney.
Apparently, John
Um,
Favreau was gonna walk away from Mandalorian, or I mean, I don't know how much truth there is to this rumor. I've read it from a couple sources, but apparently Kathleen Kennedy was trying to gain too much control over Mandalorian production, and he
really
threatened to walk. Of course, Kathleen Kennedy, the enemy of fun,
strikes again.
president of Lucasfilm. God, I can't fucking stand her.
That's crazy. Did you hear that Kevin Feige fired that one lady, Victoria Alonso? She was the
No,
what was she? What was her job title? She was, she's some like really like high up executive for like the MCU, like their TV
that's right.
shows.
Yeah.
She was fired as Marvel's president of physical production, post production, VFX, and animation.
Okay.
And if I remember correctly, I remember seeing it was regarding like the quality and like the Marvel stuff that's been out lately, has been like declining, and she got fired over it.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe they can stir some new life back into the MCU stuff.
Good for them, dude. What is gonna happen with Jonathan Majors?
So
Oof.
here's what's interesting. So his attorney came out and said that they have multiple signed like statements or like signed like letters from his girlfriend or whoever it was, recanting her statements. There was multiple eyewitnesses and video footage of the quote unquote altercation. And his lawyer said one like there's all of this evidence like just unequivocally proves his innocence. And so the story was like they were in a cab, like I guess they got in like an argument in the cab they were taking, and then when they got out of the cab, they got into some like altercation or whatever, and um like she claims that he like strangled her and like hit her or like whatever. And so and then other news started coming out saying that he was the one who called the cops, that because she was having like an episode, like she was just like, so like I don't know if it was like a mental break or just she was like, just not okay. And so apparently he called the cops because she was, having an episode. And when the cops showed up, like she had some like physical injuries on her.
Mm.
And then something I was reading was saying like when those types of calls happen, the NYPD is obligated to make an arrest. And even though he allegedly was the one that called them, because she had physical injuries on herself, they arrested him. And so her claims were he attacked her in the cab. But like obviously if they can, find the cab driver, they can, have him corroborate that or not.
Mm.
And then there was an eyewitness that they apparently have statements from, saying that he didn't do anything. We have the cab driver and then whatever video evidence they were talking about. So there's apparently just a whole bunch of evidence that is in his favor,
Mm.
but obviously we won't know until everything is like kind of like out. But there is very stark uh like evidence, like one party saying this happened, the other party saying this absolutely didn't happen, and we have proof, like many different forms of proof. So it's like there's just a lot of information that's like very opposite. So, and that was all
Interesting.
issued like publicly by his lawyer. She's like, we have all this evidence. He's absolutely innocent. And like once all of this releases, like it's obvious, which is very definitive for a lawyer to say publicly.
Damn.
Like it wasn't like lawyer talk of like, oh, he's innocent and we rebuke all of this. And it's like, no, like, we have evidence. This
Yeah.
isn't true.
Okay. All right.
So we'll see. Well, I don't want to make any decisions obviously until more information comes out. But
Yeah.
TMZ saying he was arrested for hurting her, and everyone being like, well, fuck him. Just a little,
Well, guilty until proven innocent.
yeah, pretty much.
I mean,
So
hey,
it's a little
it's a
preemptive for me.
shitty situation, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
I hope he didn't, but if he did, obviously, action needs to be taken. But
Yeah.
there's, I don't like how quick everyone just like, jumps on, like stockpiles onto people.
Hmm.
like, yeah, she should be believed, you know, like, we shouldn't be just assume she's lying. But when both sides are coming out saying they have evidence against each other, or, you know, one of them is saying that they have signed statements of her recanting those allegations, like, there's just a lot that kind of throws us all up into the air. So
Yeah.
let's see where the cards land, and let's see what actually happened. Let's get some video and some eyewitness statements, and let's piece this together. But until then,
Yeah, I
pump the
will
brakes, you know?
refrain from judgment.
Yeah.
I mean, I mentioned it
But
earlier. I'm happy Justin Roiland's charges got dropped. Doesn't excuse the text to the young girl that were really gross
yeah.
and unnecessary. But the charges, what was it? It was like assault and wrongful imprisonment from a former girlfriend. Those charges were dropped.
Yeah.
So apparently lack of evidence. It made me feel better as a Rick and Morty fan. Still sucks though because he got fired from the show. Fired from Polar Opposites, and I guess he just walked away from Squanch Games. And I fucking loved what did I just play? That game that I fucking love that I can't even name.
The Rick and Morty video game?
High on Life.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
that
great.
one. Yeah.
It was great.
I again, I don't know the validity of it, but I saw something. I don't know if it was like Twitter or like something was floating around saying that like pretty much like leading up to like when he was fired, apparently like he had stopped doing like really any meaningful work. Like I think they said in starting in like season 2, season 3, something like that. And like they would say like he would show up to like, you know, the studio, like the Adult Swim studio or wherever the fuck, Cartoon, wherever the fuck they film that shit. And like he would just like show up and like not really do any work, and like he would leave and go buy like Nerf guns and then come back and just have like Nerf gun fights with like people in the office and stuff. And it's like apparently he just like wasn't doing anything.
hmm.
Like he was just more of like an EP than anything. And so,
Yeah, it's
you
kind of
know,
disappointing to hear. I also heard he
yeah.
and Dan Harmon, the other creator of Rick and Morty, haven't spoken in years, which came out as soon as the shit hit the fan with this.
Mhm.
But that was kind of sad. Not what I expected, but
Is Dan Harmon the gross foot fetish guy?
I don't know. Apparently he did some gross shit in the writers' room, I think, of Community. Sorry, I'm playing with a marker cap. I got to fidget.
Was that what that was?
So when we go to video, when we go to video, friends, we're going to VHS, by the way. VHS and DVD. Get excited. Rob just got a new camera, and we're gonna be on YouTube and TikTok and all over the fucking place. You get your sodium wherever you want it. You can look
We're
at
gonna be
both of us.
on video.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be great.
For your visual pleasure. What was I gonna say? Crap, I lost my train of thought.
Dan Harmon.
No. Oh, Dan
Justin
Harmon.
Roiland.
Yeah. Apparently, when he was a writer, he created the show Community, and apparently he like propositioned. I'm paraphrasing, but allegedly he propositioned a girl who, a woman who was on the writers' team, and that didn't go great for him. So,
Mm.
but yeah, he's
Yeah,
not innocent himself.
There needs to be people need to understand
Allegedly.
the whole like even if like in instances like that where it's not like an assault, but it's like very obviously like leveraging your power dynamic like against somebody in the workplace, like people need to understand that's not okay. And like yeah, it's not an assault, but like it's also very unethical for you to be doing that. And it gives you that false sense of like, oh, well, they said yes. It's like, yeah, you're their fucking boss.
Yeah.
Like they feel like if they don't say yes, like they're gonna get fucking lampooned into oblivion and like lose their jobs and like black, you know. So it's like
Yeah.
that power dynamic is really serious.
It's scary.
And
Yeah.
people either just don't realize that or they don't like stop and think that like
Or
yeah,
they do
you shouldn't be
realize
doing
that, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna take advantage, which is fucked
I
up.
definitely hope not. Oh, I was thinking of Dan Schneider. Let's see what I'm thinking.
Dan
Schneider.
Who the fuck is that?
He was the one who worked on like iCarly and a bunch of other like Disney.
God, that guy
like,
was
Drake and
gross.
Josh and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently he's got like a foot fetish and has like Jeanette McCurdy. She's been really outspoken about him a lot.
Yeah,
Where yeah,
he
so apparently
sounded
he's
really
really
gross.
fucking
He would like
gross.
take her out to dinner when she was like 17 or something like that, and offer her wine and all this stuff. It was
Yeah,
really fun. He was like in his 30s. It was very gross, very inappropriate.
yeah.
No bueno.
That's who I was mistaken for Dan Harmon.
Come on,
No
Dan's.
affiliation. Sorry,
Yeah,
Dan.
right. And
Other Dan.
I don't know whatever happened with the Dan Harmon stuff. I think he publicly apologized. I don't know. It was, I'm paraphrasing, but still sucks. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
I
we'll
mean
see what happens
he's.
with Jonathan Majors and fucking Kang and the Avengers.
I really would like to hear that all the evidence comes out very very obviously exonerating him. I would like for that to be the case.
Yeah.
So we will see. Don't fucking hit people.
Marvel, yeah. Keep your fucking hands to yourself. But Marvel's in a tough spot right now. Do you completely recast this guy based on allegations? Do you wait for due process and maybe he's acquitted and then go through with production? Or do you shoot the movies with him, then he's found guilty of, assault, and then there's this whole boycott movement against the movie. Like, I don't it's tough, man.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the good thing is this all happened in between shoots,
But
right? Like you
Marvel's on
just
a tight schedule. I mean, they're supposed to release an Avengers next year, right?
I guess, but I feel like when
2 years next year?
what's the next movie? Is that New World Order, the
Kang,
Captain America movie, or is
is
it
that?
the?
Um, but they could shoot 2 movies at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's true. But he just finished.
Oh, they're
We
saying
just
Kang Dynasty 2025. Oh, okay, so they got a little bit of time.
yeah. So they're probably in between shoots. So as best case scenario is for it to happen now, and not in the middle of them shooting. So they're gonna have to put everything on hold and yada yada. So hopefully they can get that figured out. I would like to hope that they're not just firing people over
They got to
allegations.
call in Matt Murdock to represent Jonathan
Yo,
Majors.
literally, Mr. Major, shut up.
You're gonna need a really good lawyer.
You need a really good lawyer. Vincent D'Onofrio is apparently promising that the new Daredevil show, focuses on Born Again,
Yep.
is going to be, he said, quote, violent. So we might be getting some good old Daredevil back for sure.
Yes, please. He also hinted that they're talking about season 2 already, and I think this season's
I
gonna
heard
be
about
like
that.
18 episodes.
Is it really going to be a
It's
full?
it's
Like,
gonna
full,
be a
full
big
season?
show. Yeah.
Shit.
So
I really hope it's good. I really hope it's as close to as gritty as the Netflix version was, at least as close as possible.
me too. I mean, we've said it before, and I'll say it again. We could use some more adult content in that world.
Truly.
Like Disney, give me a little warning at the front of the episode, please.
I mean, from my understanding, Deadpool 3 is still gonna stay rated R.
Yeah, and that's a smart decision on their part. Those movies
Yeah.
do well.
So I remember when they bought, was it 20th Century Fox? I think it was. They were saying that, like all of the like Marvel slash 21st Century Fox, like all of like the more like mature, like the R-rated properties, like those will still stay. So like Deadpool, like we got Logan. Logan was fucking great. So between like Logan and Deadpool, they're like, yeah, we recognize we recognize that there's a desire for this and it does really well. So they were saying that they weren't going to, really like mess with that at all.
Mm.
So I hope they let us keep the more dark and adult themed Marvel stuff.
Yeah, please. No,
'Cause
I'm
that would
all about
be
it. I'm all about it.
Yeah. That'd be fucking dope.
I got to work on the Daredevil show a little bit, but it was all courtroom scenes, street scenes, nothing too
Nothing
exciting,
super exciting.
unfortunately.
Well, hopefully they keep calling you back and maybe you can get some cooler stuff.
Yeah,
Some cooler scenes.
we'll see. I know it's shooting in New York through December, so there's lots of time.
That's
yeah.
that's a long shoot.
It's a long season. It's 10 months of shooting.
Fuck.
So let's fucking see.
Oh, that means it's not going to be out for so much longer. Sucks.
Really? Well, I thought it
Well,
had
yeah,
a
if it's
release date.
Well, probably, but it's like what, like next year, well into next year, if not 2025 or whatever.
Well, let's see. They're saying 2024. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit.
You know, so
Oops.
it's like shit.
Damn, and Daredevil aired in 2015 on Netflix. Wow.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Hey, the Agatha Coven of Chaos show comes out this year.
Yay.
Yeah, I'm all good. Dude, I didn't know Charlie Cox was British.
Really?
Everybody's British. It's
All of your favorite actors are British.
Dude, honestly, I'm sick of all the Brits taking good old
They drink
American
their
jobs.
germs.
They really did drink our jobs.
Yeah.
I swear to God, if the next Spider-Man, if I hear him in an interview being like, "Oh yeah, and the suit's so tight," I'm gonna fucking lose my shit, Robert.
Oi, Gov.
Oi, oh yeah, you got to stick a straw down my eye hole so I can get a drink of water in this suit. Like, I'm sorry, there wasn't one fucking kid in America who could do this wrong.
I'm
That's
straight from
two
the
in a
Bronx,
row
I
Brits.
am.
That's two in
Yeah.
a row Brits.
We're 66% British Spider-Man.
It's unreal. And fucking Andrew Garfield's so great. I hate to be mad at him.
He's such a good actor.
I think Tom Holland I think he does fine. I think he was it's a great choice. He's athletic. I don't know. He's fine.
I think the consensus was Toby was the best Peter Parker. Garfield was the best Spider-Man, and then Tom Holland had the best suit. That's what I've seen. Those are the memes I've seen.
Yeah, no, I would completely agree with that.
But yeah, I really do think Andrew Garfield was like the best like Spider-Man. Like the choreography of him like fighting like a spider and like using his spider webs like a spider.
Loved it.
That was cool. Like he's got like the snarkiness, like,
and he
gets
had
that
a New
down
York
pat.
accent too. He had
little bit,
like
yeah.
a little Brooklyn, like a little Queens twang, and I liked
Hey,
it.
a little bit. How you doing? Huh? Yeah, a little bit of that.
Yeah, he did.
Ah.
And he had a little more like swagger to him,
Yeah,
which I liked. He was a confident Peter Parker.
but that was, I almost didn't like that. Like Peter Parker was supposed to be a fucking like nerdy dweeb, you know, and then
But
he
he's
gets
also
his
like
powers.
he's so sarcastic too, or at least Spider-Man.
Yeah, oh, he's
is when
definitely
he
got
puts on
that
the
for
mask.
sure. Yeah, he was too fuckable as Peter Parker is the problem.
It was too fuckable.
Too fuckable.
Wow, dude.
Pre-powered Peter Parker, he's got to be a little less fuckable.
There's gonna be a congressional hearing. Are you telling me that suit's gotta be that tight? You gotta leave.
Why do I keep getting TikToks of Spider-Man's butt in that spider suit?
Because, sir, your eyes are dilating extremely wide.
I yield
Can you
back.
see it?
I yield back. Nope, sorry, I yield back. You can't answer. I already yield back. All right, if you say so.
His
Man,
phone rings.
politics is crazy.
Oh, sorry, my phone's on.
Oh my
my
god.
ringtone. Dude, I was
Mr.
working on
Mr. Chew, I would like pictures of Spider-Man.
Dude, I was working on Law and Order yesterday. Oh my god, here's another instance where the lead guy, he's like talking, he's giving his monologue, it's like opening statements in the courtroom, and then they cut, and he's like, so do you want me on this mock or this mock? And I'm like, you got it. Unfucking believable, this guy. I'm sorry, there's nothing going on the West End? BBC didn't have any opportunities for you? You had to come over to New York and trick our jams? Unbelievable.
Oh my god.
But oh yeah,
I remember
the judge's phone went off yesterday, and he didn't look pissed, but he gave like a sharp glare, like an anime glare. And when when he realized it was another actor, I think like he got off of it, but
oof.
The judge's phone went off. Very unprofessional.
Like his personal, not judge phone.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Personal
Put your shit
people
on
phone.
Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, come on.
What if he had
Pretend
kids?
like
what if this
you're
kid,
in
like,
court.
Shit himself.
Well, the kids
You know?
gotta wait until they turn around.
Gotta wait until filming wraps. But Dad,
I need pants.
I pooped real bad.
Dude, we used to have this when I went to a Catholic middle school, And we used to have this giant box of clothes in the back of the library, and it was just in case a kid shit their pants. And when I got older, I found out about the box of free, because you had to wear a uniform, and I found out
Mhm.
about the box of clothes, and I just found some clothes that fit me and took them home. But
Is it because you shit yourself?
no, I think I was down there because either someone or myself spilt, like dropped a slice of pizza on our shirts, and someone was
Mm.
like, "Oh, we could go down to the box of clothes," and I was like, "What are you talking about? I've been wearing the same 2 shirts for like 2 years. What are you talking about?" I also, when I told my mom, like, I think I would like graduated from the school. I was like, yeah, I just like, I did the last 2 years with 2 shirts. And she was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I only have 2 shirts. I got a short sleeve and I got a long sleeve. She's like, you've got to be fucking
They
kidding
weren't
me.
even two of the same sleeve lengths. Oh no.
Well, no, it was like, you had the little school logo on it, and it was either white or light blue. And they had, short sleeve polos or just like long sleeve. I think it was a turtleneck. Or maybe it was a long sleeve polo. I don't know. But your boy had 2 shirts and I think 1 pair of pants. And my mom was fucking mortified when she realized.
You just skating through an entire however many years with 2 shirts.
It was fine, man. I don't know. I was 12 years old. I was gross. I didn't really care, dude.
So girl, I didn't care.
Talk to me about Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't give a fuck.
When I was in elementary school, I drank a whole bunch of chocolate milk at lunch. Like nobody wanted the chocolate milk, so I just fucking hammered like 8 of them when I was like 8 years old. And obviously, to nobody's surprise, my tummy started to hurt. So I ended up going to the nurse, and I was like, "My tummy hurts," and they're like, "What happened?" I was like, "I don't know. I drank a whole bunch of chalky milk." And she's like, "All right, we'll just lay here until you feel better." I was like, "Okay." And then so I laid down, and like a few minutes later, I got up and just took like a massive poop. And I felt much better. And I came out, and she goes, "You feel better?" It's like, "Yeah." She's all right. You can go back to class. I was like, "Okay."
Dude, what a
Go
good
back to
nurse.
class.
What a good
Yeah, she was
nurse.
just like she understood. I just had too much chalky milk. I needed to let it pass.
Dude, that
I
passed
needed to let that
fast.
evil pass.
Man, your
I don't know
body was
what it
like,
was, but it's just
get this out of
yeah, it's
me.
like get it out. It tore me up. There's just too much milk for such a small child at that time.
Dude, today at the supermarket, they had half off wraps because they were used by today. And I
Oh, they're
was
gonna say like the wraps were used. It's like, excuse me?
no. I'm sorry. They
It's like a
had
lightly used wrap.
no. I mean, they were fresh. They were buffalo chicken wraps with blue cheese and
Right.
lettuce and shredded up carrots, and they were good.
That's
But
pretty good.
there was a moment where I was like eating this wrap, and I was like, I'm kind of rolling the dice. I'm supposed to take a flight tomorrow. This hits me during the flight. Things are gonna get dicey. And if it
Yeah,
hits me during the flight and we hit turbulence, and I mean, that flight
you get
attendant's
jostled
gonna be
around like a paint
knocking
can.
on the door. You got to get back to your seat, and it's gonna.
We're landing. You've
That's,
been in there the entire
that's
flight.
gonna be a negative, miss.
If I die, I die.
Dude, my mom tells this story when I was like a little baby. We flew to Florida to like go see family. And on the way home, I was like a baby. I had like crazy diarrhea, Rob. It was just everywhere
Oh,
all the
no.
time. And the plane, my mom says she's never experienced turbulence like this in her life. And like literally to the point where she thought the plane was going down. And I just would not stop shitting myself. So she like locked herself in the lavatory and was like just trying to just like manage. And you can picture like a plane lavatory. It's like 2x2 cubicle. And I don't know. She somehow managed, and she's like trying to like take care of me. And the flight attendant was like yelling at her on the other side of the door, like, "You gotta get out of there. You gotta go back to your seat." My mom was just like, "That's not gonna happen."
It's like
And
this
eventually
whole
they just
child
left
is
her
a
alone.
sprinkler of diarrhea.
And she stayed in the lavatory until like the plane landed. There was just like, there's no this kid's.
There was no cleaning that. They just had to burn that plane.
I gotta,
like,
I'm gonna see my
it was
mom
a whole
tomorrow,
loss.
and I gotta bring up that story and apologize on my behalf.
My bad.
I'm sorry. I just,
Yo, when you
I
gotta
don't
poop,
know.
you gotta poop.
Must have had a bad rap or something. That
Must have had
buffalo
a bad rap and too much milk.
buffalo chicken wrap. Chase it down with 18 ounces chalky milk.
Ugh, delish.
Fresh from the cafeteria.
That sounds like my sort of night right there. The best.
Either at 12 or 30 years old.
Truly. I really want to this whole like crazy manifesto. I want to put this in like the show notes so people can read it.
Oh, that would be awesome. Dude, do you want to
Wouldn't that be
give us
crazy?
so unfortunately I gotta wrap it up because I gotta pack a few more things and then I'm gonna try and go to bed because we gotta be up at 4 o'clock to catch our
Gross.
flight. But
Yeah,
I would
you got
like
a little flight
I would love to
tomorrow.
put a pin in it. Next week we're gonna be on fucking camera.
On camera.
I can't wait, man. We're gonna I'd love to do some reaction content. You were talking about that.
Yeah, we used to do like meme reviews every Friday on the stream. But due to Twitch TOS and just some copyright stuff, it makes it hard to do like in real time. So we kind of had to scrap that. But I really did miss doing meme reviews every week. So
Me
maybe we
too.
could do like, you know, I would like to try and get back on like the weekend. Because right now it's fucking Tuesday.
It's
7:30 p.m. Central Time on a fucking Tuesday. You know,
it's
so
so random. Yeah.
I want to get back to our weekend recording schedule, and then so that way like throughout the week like we can just put a pin, or like we find like TikToks or whatever, but just save some memes that we found throughout the week, maybe
Mhm.
do a little meme review, a little TikTok review, kind of thing. I think that would be a lot of fun.
I would
And we can
absolutely love that. And it'll be great
yeah,
too
we
because
can
we can
diversify.
show it on camera. We'll play the audio for those of our everyone who's listening.
It'll be great. We can
can't
eat
wait.
the salted licorice on
Oh
camera so everyone can
fuck,
see that.
dude! On Saturday night, Alex was like, "Aren't you and Rob supposed to eat something?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" Dude, I
So to
completely
eat
erased
something.
that from my memory. She was like, "You and Rob are supposed to like eat something," and I was like, "This is news to me. Like, I am not prepared to eat. I didn't order anything. I don't know. I did the
Yeah,
pistachio milk."
it was worse than I was expecting it to be. It wasn't bad, but I don't know why I assumed
Dude,
pistachio milk was gonna be
I
better.
drank like 14 fluid ounces of that, and I was so full. I was so full because I didn't strain it. There was no cheesecloth.
You went full pulp,
It was chunky. Yeah, I
extra
didn't go
pulp.
creamy. I went chunky with my pistachio milk. Dude, did
Oh
I tell you
man,
I got a pistachio cream latte from Starbucks like 2 weeks ago? Did we talk about
no,
this?
was
Dude,
it delish?
yeah, I was in the city and my aunt got me a Starbucks gift card for Christmas and it's been chilling in my wallet for 3 months. And I'm walking past Starbucks and they had a pistachio cream latte and I was like, "Well, I have to get it." It was like $5.50 for the fucking grande, which is small by the way in Spanish.
No, it's not.
Yeah, no, it is. Spend $5 on the pistachio drink. I'm gonna be completely honest. It might have been the best coffee beverage I've ever tasted.
Damn.
The cream was so silky and rich and flavorful, and it was sweet. And then the back end is where you get a little bit of that salty, nutty pistachio.
Okay.
It was insane. And then the rest of it was just coffee. It's pretty much just like I guess more of like a cappuccino because it's got this like foam cream on top.
Right.
But 10 out of 10 would recommend. It was
right.
it was very good. It was very good.
I don't fuck with Starbucks, and I have a Dutch Bros that's literally behind my apartment complex. So if they ever have anything pistachio, I'm gonna get it.
All right. Or next time you're in Penn Station in Midtown,
Yeah,
walk
we'll
walk
grab-
over the bums and spend $5 on a pistachio
Jesus.
nut coffee. You won't regret it.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
Mm-hmm. And when they ask you for money, say no, and then pull your
Absolutely
wallet
not.
out and say no expense will be spared on the nut drink.
Give me all of the nut cream.
All of the how much I would love to pay full price.
Nut cream equals yes.
Yucky.
Yuck.
Ugh.
But yeah, so that'll be the plan. I'm gonna finish getting all this set up. Apparently, I have to have a memory card in order to update the firmware on this camera.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding. So, I also don't know if I need the firmware updated because looking at the patch notes for the firmware is just like stability stuff.
Okay.
So, I don't know. But either way, yeah, we'll be on video. If I have to record separately, I record separately. But
Yeah, I get it. I mean, the only unfortunate thing about that is it's going to be a giant file. But,
yeah,
2 giant files for my poor little MacBook to handle. But we'll make it happen. It's all doable.
it'll be great.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, for those of you asking for video episodes of the podcast, that will be coming
next week.
So, what that you fly back on Sunday morning, like early Sunday morning?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So that will be perfect if we could do like a late Sunday afternoon. Maybe give me a little time to nap.
Yeah.
And then we'll be good to go. And this week I'll spend some time. I'll get a playlist going. And we'll talk about some shit. Maybe next week talk about video games. Go back to our roots.
I'm down for that.
It'll be
We've been
great.
playing a lot of video games. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah. Oh, there's some good shit going on right now. Resident Evil 4 is just, it's perfection. Perfection really again. Yeah. It's great. I love the graphic violence. And you can toggle it on or off. If you're a little squeamish, forget it. But me?
It's like paintball mode and GoldenEye on the N64.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
For all the kids in the room.
Yeah, for all the kids that want to decapitate zombies, but
mommy
don't
said
want
no.
it to be bloody for some reason.
No, that head staying on those shoulders, dude. If you toggle that off, that's it. You're not seeing entrails, no severed limbs, nothing.
The head just despawns. You know, it doesn't get decapitated; it just despawns.
It just turns to Thanos dust.
Yeah, it just turns to dust. Yeah, just snap, gone.
This is real life. All right, friends, keep it salty. We will see you next week. Thank you so much for listening. Rob,
sorry for the delay. We're getting back to a normal schedule. I swear to God.
We're getting back into it. Everything work's been weird for me. This is on me. Work's been weird for me. And life's I got shit going on, but
we gotta get you a 9 to 5. That's what we gotta do.
Yeah. I love this fucking podcast, and I love you, Rob. So I'm excited to.
I love you.
Keep it going.
It's gonna be great. We'll be back next week for more shenanigans.
More salt.
More flavor.
All right, later, homies.